As a Scrum Master, how do you support program implementation? Or how would you support agile delivery in your organization? With the increase in the nature of competition for the agile, most especially the Scrum Master role, which is an entrance to the agile world, many people are finding it very difficult to scale through interviews. And one of the things we have also seen recently is the fact that most of the interviews require you not just to understand how to facilitate Scrum event, but to understand how Agile or Scrum operate at the level of program so that you can effectively support program level, the program level in Scrum implementation. And this is a question which we are going to handle today. How can you as a Scrum Master support program level implementation? I'm going to look at it from two dimensions. The first dimension is how you can leverage performance indicator at the level of the team to support management. The second dimension is how you can support management that have no idea on how to implement Scrum and how you can be able to help them understand how the flow of futures can actually affect the work that is happening on the team level. Now, one of the reasons why many Scrum Masters are having challenges or having tough time going through the job, even those who are in the job, is because they do not understand the collaboration between what is happening at the management level and what's happening at the team level. So they are doing everything possible to handle what is happening at the team level, but management is kind of frustrated because they don't know how to manage it. We are going to handle that in this video. Welcome to the Scrum Chat Room with Dr. Francis Mbunya. Happy Monday to you. If you're new here, hit the subscribe button. For returning subscriber, always welcome back here. For those who want to level up and get hand-on experience and work on practical projects that help them understand what is in the environment, you're welcome to join our coaching community. We are open now. We're accepting new enrollment for a very short time. For those who want to be self-certified, 24th of February, we're launching a safe certification. But most importantly, release train engineer certification is coming up at the end of this month. And in my next video, I'm going to be giving you the schedule. All right. So let's go ahead without wasting any time. Let's look at how you as a Scrum Master, you can support program level implementation in Agile. Now, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so that we get a bit visual in the way we are going to learn today. And one of the things we want to focus on is focusing on the first level of implementation, which you are going to work on, is going to be on how you can support management or program level with your KPIs. Now, you need to understand that at the level of teams, if we take at the level of teams, all right, you at the level of teams, right? At the level of teams, what happened? You have your KPIs. KPI simply mean key performance indicator, key performance indicator, which you use in evaluating your team. And one of them, you're going to have the velocity, and also you're going to have your bend down chart. As you bend down. These are kind of the two most important that you will definitely have your eye on most of the time. Now, as a non-quantitative evaluation, I also like to put communication and collaboration. Okay, so communication and collaboration. These are one of the three most important for me when I'm working at the team level. If my team can communicate, if they can collaborate, if they understand how to read their bend down chart, or you understand to show them how the bend down chart can use to improve performance. Now, let me talk a bit on how the value or the importance of your bend down chart and how it can use to improve performance. You can easily see the difference between what need to be done and what you're doing. Now let's take a practical example right here, right? I'm going to pick a different color. I want to draw my bend down chart here. Let's say a team commit to 50 story point, and according to the bend down chart, this one is story point right here. And right here, we are going to have the number of days. Normally, we are assuming a 2-week sprint. So this is going to be 10 working days, including the weekends. All of that is going to give you about 14 days. Now, we expect you to bend down your chart like this. This is like the idea. Now, on the other hand, what is happening is that most often you will see work not completed for the first day, and maybe you start seeing work completed, something like this. This is how you see most bend down chart like this. And if at all, if you don't finish, it's definitely going to end halfway, right? Now, how does it help you showing that your chart is to the right? It shows that you are not performing as it is really expected. But in most of the cases, this is not really a big issue. Now, it's going to start becoming a big concern if you have something like this. If you have something like having your chart, no work is being done up to the last day, then you see so many things pull up right down here. You have an issue with a bend down chart. Now, your team become performant when your team start having a chart that look like something like this, right? We start the first day, we start bending down. It goes like this. Maybe we bend down, we bend down, we bend down, and then we finish almost about this. Now, what is happening here is that this is a super performing team because this line, the red line in the middle, is what is expected from a different team. So your bend down chart with just a pip, you can easily see if your team is running behind schedule or your team is working in line, and that help you to kind of give them a boost. Or most often, what I like to do is that I like to create a dashboard, especially when my team is still struggling. And before every daily stand up, I'm definitely going to show my dashboard to my team to say, "Hello, team. You see what where we are. Maybe we can put we can motivate ourselves, not pressure. We can motivate ourselves and boost up. We can do much better." I always tell my team they are doing the best. Don't get pressure, but it would be good if we kind of do that. Obviously, I guess you would understand what a velocity chart is all about, right? Velocity chart, we are looking at the work that we completed at the end of the sprint. We are looking at the work that we completed at the end of the sprint. And the velocity chart will actually give you 2 bars. The first bar is what you committed, and the second bar is what you completed. Now, if you have another sprint, you committed to this and completed this, you realize that you actually meet up your performance and above. Now, I know a lot of you are going to focus on, oh, it's an anti-pattern to pull in at the end when work has started. So why would you be completing more? Now, it's better for your team to pull in when they have completed their work compared to maybe pulling in and out when they're not even meeting their target. Okay, now let's look at, so as a Scrum Master, you can use all of these matrices to support your program level. And in that case, what you do is that you can have what we call support meetings, right? You can have support meetings where you meet with your manager, you showcase them what is going on at the level of the team, and you can get some feedback from them. But most often, I do also understand that the program level or at the program level, they don't often give you enough information to help you be effective in what you do. And this is where you can really, really step up to support your team. Now, what is happening at the team level is very, very important, which I want you to kind of pay attention when we are talking about that now. Now, you can also support the program level not only by sharing the result that is happening and advising them on how you can get support. Sometimes program level also need a lot of support. How do they need a lot of support? Now, you need to understand that the work that is coming to the team level, the people we say stakeholders are program level. So the product owner will be talking to the product manager to collect the requirement. Now, the person that is receiving requirement from business now is our stakeholders. So in reality, just to be frank, in reality, you are not going to have something like the person who gets the contract maybe to your company coming in and the PO talking with them. No, that's not how it happened. Now, when a company win a contract, now they discuss how they are going to implement that contract. And if it's an enterprise environment, what happened? The people that level of leadership, they get a discussion, they push that to people as strategy. The people as strategy get their own strategy and push it at the level of the program. At the level of the program, that's where you have your product manager. Your product manager now put it with you. Now, by the time you get to the level of product manager, we already have the product roadmap and the release plan most often, right? Now, that's why if you get into a smaller company, they're just starting. Now you need to understand how to support them in product road mapping and in release planning if they don't already have that. What is happening at the level of program is that when a future is received, because what the program level implement futures, right? So when a futures is received, they have what they call the program Kanban, right? So, and this is also one of the reasons why they'll always ask you the question, have you worked with a Kanban team? So the program level uses Kanban. So the program level, let's say, receive two features, funnel. They have their own backlog and their own flow of diagram. So let's say they receive two futures in here. Now, what is the next thing they need to do? They need to analyze based on the team capacity, right? Based on the different team they are working with. So they do their analysis, and maybe they do the analysis, they realize that, okay, we can push out two futures to this team. Now, this is where the PO, I'm going to use a different color. The PO is in communication with the PM, with the product manager, not the project manager, with the product manager. This is where they're in the communication, where they're analyzing. And now the PO now collect requirement from here and move it to the backlog. Okay, I move it to the backlog. Here at the backlog is split into story. So this feature can be split into several story, which is the PO does this. If you're in a safe environment, then this feature will come to you in the PI planning and the entire team will split it. But in the Scrum environment, the PO now will split this feature and then prioritize them. Now, when all of these are prioritized, there's a next phase which go in, which at the program level, I'm giving you how the Kanban board at the program level will look like. At the program level, you also have a Kanban board called what? Called implementation. So the team start implementing. Implementation is at the level where we start doing our sprint planning, and then we put it to the backlog, right? Now, when we implement right here, which is where we look at what is happening at planning, we start implementing. When implementation is done, what happens? We have validation. Validation on staging. When they say staging, let me explain this a bit. Now, when we say staging, validation is here is from where we do like in progress and done. Now, when we say validation on staging, when a Scrum team completely develop a project, what happened to the when they completely develop a story, not a project, a story, what happened to the story? They move it to done. Now, when they move it to done, what they're simply doing that we have finished building it, we are moving it to a staging environment. The staging environment is an environment that's going to look like the environment of the customer. Right. Now, in the staging environment, this is where what is going on. This is where we do the testing. We do the testing goes on right here. All the testing happens in the staging environment. Okay. Now, when the staging happens, what happened and everything is confirmed, we deploy to production. Deploy to production. All right. In most environments, you have this validation happening before done. In some environment, they just move it to in progress done. Now they do all the testing. So somewhere right here is going to be more of what we call smoke testing. Smoke testing is just peer review and code validation. Okay, now they do deploy to production. Deploy to production is where we are ready to push it out. Deploy to production at this level, those who take over are the product manager. Now, I'm going to explain a bit about the concept of DevOps and how this also apply at the level of program. Okay. I know this is a lot of information. This is not just meant for Scrum Master. This is also meant for those who are working in the field to understand what is happening in their environment, because we also do coaching for those who are in the environment. So sometimes you might hear me go a little bit deeper, but it's just for you to be able to understand how to do this. Now, when we deploy to production, what is happening right here, we're having our releases. Release is on demand, right? There's no schedule like with release every 2 weeks or so. It's on demand. Let's say that we're building a software now, which we want to release it during the December period, right? Although we finish everything now, we're not going to release it because it's not yet our period. It's going to be in the peak market season during the December period. So that's what we say release in demand. So release is not something that has a cadence like your spring or so. Now, when we release, then the final stage is what? Done. It's completed. Now, when it's completed, what happened is that the company will still need support, right? They will still need support. If something is not working, they will need support. And if they need support, it comes back to the production team. Now, the production team are not developers. The production team are the managers and maybe DevOps and some other people that can easily troubleshoot. And this is where the concept of DevOps comes in. Now, the concept of DevOps says that we need the development team and the operation team to work hand in hand, so that we can both understand what our software team is doing and what the operation team is doing. And in that case, if anything comes back to operation, they can fully have access to dev team to give them support. And this is also the end where we start talking about technical dev and bugs and all of that. So in a summary, how will you support program management? First of all, you use your own indicators, which are the indicators you get at the team level. I emphasize on the burn down chart. I emphasize on the velocity chart. I emphasize on communication and collaboration and how you pull that back to the program level to show them what is happening. And also, you can also support program level by understanding this program Kanban, and being there, you can facilitate the process if you don't have an agile coach in your team. And most often, agile coach would not even understand all of this. So if you're knowledgeable as a Scrum Master, you can also support. And that is why in my community, which is why you should be part of it, we spend time not just to say, oh, this is how you answer a question in an interview. We invest the time to show you exactly what to do. And now, one other bonus, which I'm going to add before I take my leave for today, it's a Monday. It's a generous Monday for that matter, right? So I'm just going to add one tip. Now, one other thing which happened at this level is that each of these columns, we have a policy, right? That policy is simply what must be done before we validate. What must be done before it leaves this column. What must be done before it leaves this column? Now, you can also implement this at the level of your team, right? You can also implement this at the level of your team to help your team understand what is happening at the level when we say something is in progress. What are the policy? What does it mean when we say something is in testing? It also helps you as the Scrum Master to manage the entire process. So these are some of the stuff that are happening at the level of the program and how you, the Scrum Master, can support program. All right, so what I'm also going to do in my next video, which is going to come up on Wednesday, I'm going to show you look, trust me, you don't want to miss this video on Wednesday. how you can do a very simple working agreement with your team that doesn't kind of throw you off. It's very simple. I think it's one of the best I've come across. But then I'm going to be sharing you that on Wednesday. It's nothing as a, it's not similar to what I've shared before. And that is why continuous learning and continuous improvement is one of the biggest goals. All right. Have a happy Wednesday. Do not forget to subscribe. Do not forget to like. If you're interested in our release training, engineer training that's coming up, hit me up and then let me have you in our list. And I'm going to share with you what is going to be the schedule in the upcoming video. That's on Wednesday. Okay. Have a great week and I see you on Wednesday.